जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम गुरु के श्री गुरु दीननाथ यामि श्रेणी बाबा के बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वाद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहम् आप्नुयामि। My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. In the previous chapter, as a prelude to Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained, such as Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligence, work without fruit of desire, and the position of the neophyte. This was all presented unsystematically. A more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up this apparently confusing matter so that any common man would accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness. Either by inertia or by active service. In other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of Bhagavad Gita. Spiritual advancement means the ability to reconcile apparently contradicting facts, apparently poles apart instructions, and so on. Contradiction is a sign of instability. Rather, that is neophyte nature. Just like many times people say, okay, all gods are one. You worship anyone. That means a sign of neophyte nature. There is not much understanding about life, about spiritual fabric. There is not much understanding actually. Therefore, everything is appearing to be equal. Somebody who doesn't have knowledge will equate IIT and ITI is equal. Similar to it. IIT, ITI, equal. Same है. That means he doesn't have much knowledge. And that's why everything is appearing to be equal. In a similar way, we see many times when devotees come to Krishna consciousness, many of them initially have the experience, they say, what is there in Prabhupada books? The same thing Prabhupada is telling every now and then. What is so special in Prabhupada books? So the speciality is Prabhupada's books, Prabhupada's instructions are taking us out of this neophyte nature. This is neophyte nature, actually. Seeing everything as one. Everything is seen. And that is exactly what Arjuna is going through also. So when he is quoting equivocal instructions, that means he has not understood the subject matter. And therefore Arjuna is confused. We will see a sign of stability is clarity, actually. Clarity of vision, actually. That's a sign of stability, actually. That's a sign that we are moving ahead. So in fact we will see this is one of the epidemics today. Lack of inability to discriminate between matter and spirit, between that which is spiritual and that which is sensual. One of the diseases actually. So what we understand, and this inability can be so prominently seen on ground actually. Just like people really do not have any understanding of what is spiritual. What exactly is a spiritual organization? So any organization which has an NGO status, they think that it is a spiritual organization because they have got ATG certificate. No? So people equate social service to spirituality. So this, similarly, we see that people accept anybody and everybody as a sadhu, a saintly person. I can remember one of the devotees was sharing, one friend in his his friend was making a point that very rigorous but out of the point. He said, our company very spiritual. Our company very spiritual. And this devotee asked, what? Some programs will take place, Gita courses and all that. What is happening? What spiritual? You know? He said, no. Our company has a policy, has a culture. We don't much discriminate between man, woman, man. It's a free, culture. We're beyond the modes actually. It's spiritual, So the question is it spiritual or is animalistic, So people don't have much understanding of what is what, like that. Similarly, people go, there is no concept of, testification, because there is no experimentation. What testification, Testification requires commitment. One has to apply himself to the process and then one can test. Because, and when the experimentation is lacking, where is the question of testification? So there is no testification, there is no Guru Sadhu Shastra, checkbox. It's only just pick up. Similarly, people just go to the bookshop and they pick up any version, And they say, okay, this is spiritual. And sometimes, we come across, even upcoming devotees, many times, they read anything on the internet, written by whom, they also don't know, Even the person who is writing, he also must not be knowing what he is writing, So, we see that, and then they quote that because it is written here like this, therefore, how can, this is reality. This is the principle of bhakti. So there is absolute confusion actually. Lack of ability to discriminate actually. Absolute confusion. And similarly, it becomes difficult to understand what is the difference between, when people say we can chant any mantra, then people say that any type of setting we can chant. Then people say that एक माला करेंगे, अच्छे से करेंगे, बोलेंगे आपको आधा चपाती खिलाएंगे, या एक चपाती खिलाएंगे दिन में, अच्छे से खिलाएंगे तोड़ के, The same thing actually. So there are not much understanding of the difference between what is what, So there is utter confusion all around. Utter confusion all around actually. And sometimes even in preaching, one has to be very careful who is preaching to whom. Many times one may go out for preaching, but instead of sharing the vision given by the Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, one may be gathering vision from them, होता है क्या दुनिया में क्या चल रहा है, This is how people are, this is how we have to, So one is prone to get influenced actually. That's neophyte nature actually. One is prone to get influenced. So we go out in the material world to set an example of what Krishna consciousness means actually. We don't go out in the material world to gather inputs and fill our heart with that and thus contaminate our existence. We don't go out. Already there is enough contamination. So where to give, where to take? What to give, what to take? That is also important actually. And a lack of discrimination may create havoc. It's like I remember in Pune, there was this episode that there were talks about friendship and sharing your heart and dadati pratiganati. These are some aspects of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So one brahmachari, he thought, okay, let me have friendship, sharing of heart. So he caught up another brahmachari and he started telling, I will tell you what happened, what I used to do before I came to Krishna consciousness. And then he started telling all kinds of nasty activities and or you can say glorious activities so called, And the other person, simple fellow, he never heard these kind of things in life, like that. And he was, the vibrations were so much. And poor devotee was bowled out in 6 months he changed ashram. He got so much vibrations. He got so much to hear. Couldn't hold it actually. So sometimes what to give, what not to give is an important subject matter actually. So inability to discriminate is a neophyte tendency. And that is like a hurdle which we have to cross over actually. Because everything is not on the same platform. Everything is not on the same platform. Just like one time when brahmachari gave an argument in Pune, he said, Prabhuji, how does it matter? So he was probably found seeing some wrong type of movies. And then he was giving the argument, Prabhuji, how does it matter? It only sometimes. It is only little bit. Just like sometimes, there is feast, we overeat. Essential, overeating, And this is also little bit. Isn't it the same, Prabhuji, That was the argument actually. Our question is it the same? Is it the same? Vaishampu asked this question to Radhanath Swami directly in class. And Radhanath Swami said the difference is that eating Mahaprasad and eating cow flesh. That's the difference. That's the difference actually. So the point is that one needs to set boundaries for himself. One needs to be able to clearly understand where are Lakshman Rekhas which do not have to be crossed. What is the purview within which one has to function. What kind of vibrations one can handle and can handle is one thing. What kind of vibrations are sanctioned? Do we see it around stably being executed in Krishna consciousness by devotees? Some devotees at least. So this is an important fabric actually. That one needs to. And time and again we will see situations come in such a way that one all of a sudden acts in a way as there is no understanding about what is, as if there is no understanding about what is bhakti, what is not bhakti actually. Many times when the allurement for money comes up or the attachment to money comes up, all other things are forgotten many a times. For such a devotee sometimes, many a times it appears that Krishna consciousness, bhakti, Prabhupada mission, वो सब तो हो ही जाएगा. Money is the main thing, and that is the kind of mindset which comes actually. I was sometimes. So immediately we see any allurement, any provocation of mind, immediately one loses discrimination power. Somebody is giving a higher package, immediately one is running in that direction, not understanding वो करने क्या वाला है, करवाने क्या वाला है. All the other person is going to do. What will happen to Krishna consciousness? We got to association. We have, So many a times we will see, one may stand to lose his discrimination actually. And when we see that, we are getting lost. When we see ourselves that we are getting diversified, we are getting dispersed, we are getting diluted, we are getting lost apart, broken apart, torn apart and so on. And Maya is pulling, That time we need to understand the whole problem has happened because of not being able to set and limit the boundaries actually. So at that time what is supposed to be done? At that time when we realize that yes, we are getting torn apart by Maya, at that point of time one needs to stand up and take a call. And let me now set at least some boundaries so that this does not continue. This does not continue. So many times change your situation can also help in such a setting actually. Change your situation. One can just pick up his bag and situate himself in a situation which is more favorable, which is more conducive for Krishna consciousness. Where Krishna consciousness feelings and Krishna consciousness activities will naturally be encouraged. So that kind of step one needs to take before it becomes too late actually. Before it becomes too late. Like I remember one time in HSBC I was put in a team and I was supposed to guide the programmers. It was a 7-people team, 5 of which were Matajis. Similar age group, something like that. 5 of which were Matajis, and I was supposed to train all 5 in the project. And the other 2 people, one was another programmer who was doing mostly his own work, who was some senior software engineer. and the other one was the architect actually, and the eighth one was the manager who would be managing other projects also. So that's how the team was. So I was a little fed up. There was a crunch of space, so people were such jam-packed. This side was on Mataji, this side was on Mataji, you know, and the computers were so close that I could really read what they are typing, you know. This side, that side. You cannot help it. Because the moment you look here, you are seeing what is here. The moment you look there, you see what is there, you know? Like that. And these Matajis had their boyfriends in the company, and they used to keep having some romantic affairs, you know. And whenever I would look, it would be, you know, the same rubbish thing, you know, like that. So I asked one devotee, bro, what should I do? This is appearing to be, you know, a little deadly. He gave me a very interesting answer actually. I still appreciate. He said, if I would have been in your position, I would have left the company and changed the job. You know? So better be, you know, safe. Better be safe than, you know, being, you know, on a tottering platform. So I appreciated this point that seriousness in Krishna consciousness means that at some point of time one needs to set boundaries actually. That is the meaning of discrimination. Discrimination means setting boundaries. This is right. This is not right. This is Krishna consciousness. This is Maya. Setting boundaries. Discrimination is all about setting boundaries. And in that way, by setting boundaries, we are actually propelling our consciousness to focus on that one point that is the lotus feet of Krishna. We are taking it closer and closer and closer and closer and drawing it closer. And that's what we are doing. This is the process of yoga actually. To focus our consciousness at the lotus feet of the Lord. And that requires culturing. To focus it first on few things. And then within that, you know, few things. And within that, you know, some very few type of, you know, consciousness, thought patterns, attitude. And then it's one pointed. It goes one pointed actually. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. So yes, to set an example, even Mahaprabhu had set boundaries. He would not talk to lady disciples, he would not allow lady disciples to come near him, to offer obeisances in front of him. That was the etiquette in those days. Therefore Mahaprabhu had told Nityananda, you marry, so that you can enter anywhere. And Nityananda would enter, understanding the heart of Mahaprabhu, he would enter liquor shops, he would enter all kinds of extraterrestrial personalities, you know. Like that Lalitpur sannyasi, you know, devotee pastime, right? That Lalitpur bliss sannyasi, bliss, you know, bliss, and he wanted to offer, you know, with great love and devotion, you know, bliss to Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya did not say, I am Bhavagrahi Janardana, no? Lord Chaitanya said, Vishnu, 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 and he ran. And one can question, oh, Krishna says Bhavagrahi Janardana, he did not see the Bhava. You know? So there he did not apply Bhava. Lord simply ran and jumped into Ganges, you know, head on with clothes, you know, and catching them along with him, you know, like that. And then came out and said, fine, now we move forward to Shantipur. Right. Similarly, in Shantipur, when Advaita Acharya was preaching Mayavad, Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Lord, understanding the moods, attitudes, everything, you know. And he did not say Bhavagrahi. He started beating Advaita Acharya. And Chaitanya was so angry, he said, Nada! And Advaita Acharya was in ecstasy, he was getting beaten up and he said, and then Lord Chaitanya understood, something else. But the point is that it's not that. So there the Lord was not exhibiting his Bhavagrahi mood. So that is the question actually. There the Lord was clearly demarcating, this is it and this is not it. So yes, boundaries. Even an ocean has to understand his boundaries. So in Krishna consciousness, we see one may be like an ocean. He is oceanic. One's depth, understanding, conviction, advancement, spiritual substance may be oceanic. But even an ocean has to understand his boundaries. If he does not understand his boundaries and overshoot, it will create havoc for others actually. So even in Vaishnava community, even though one is like an ocean, one needs to understand his boundaries, and if he overshoots, it will create havoc for the Vaishnava community actually. That's need to be understood actually. So therefore, we see Arjuna is making the point here, and Arjuna is telling, Tadekam vada nischitya. Tell me now one thing which is supposed to be done. That one thing. So let me set the priorities now. Let me create boundaries now. What needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. Srila Prabhupada here in purport is talking about that yes, what Lord Krishna did is an unorganized presentation. And therefore Arjuna is presenting this confusion to create the path for a very systematic and organized presentation, because for application and action a systematic presentation is required. This principle is very much pertinent to life as well actually. The difference between a neophyte and a steady and stable devotee is the difference between unorganized and organized. A neophyte may also get sentiments. Sometimes one gets really lot of sentiments for Krishna. Sometimes one may feel like crying, chanting the holy names. Sometimes one may feel like he's getting drowned by how much mercy Mahaprabhu has given. A proper sacrifice, sometimes one may be in tears. Sometimes one may feel like I just want to preach day and night. Sometimes one may feel that I just want to read and read and read and read. Bhagavatam is so nice. And sometimes one may feel that नहीं थोड़ा सा gratification करना है ना, अभी बहुत हो गया है ना, गरम हो गया प्रोसेसर अभी ना, है ना? And sometimes one may feel that my cherished goal in life, my desire in life is to just go to sleep. Like that. So the point is that this is unsystematic, unorganized. Blown by the wind sometimes, isn't that? So actually in an unsystematic consciousness, stage of unsystematic or unorganized consciousness, steady action cannot be taken. Steady action requires clarity. Steady action requires clarity. And that is the profile and the duty of a sadhaka. The duty is to organize his life in such a way the priority for Krishna starts becoming more and more prominent. And one needs to plan out, one needs to work out. It doesn't happen on its own actually. Like say for example morning program. To attend the morning program one has to stay in voice, one has to stay in yoga, one has to stay in temple. But to stay in voice, yoga, temple, one has to work out other settings. So for example, one is pass out, one has to see that one has a job there, one has to see that how one has to work out a lot of settings actually. So that is the meaning of organization. That one works out the various details of his life in such a way that he is available for Krishna. Then we see in this kind of a stage, steady action can take place. Steady calling can take. One has to work hard actually. Similarly, any service of the Lord, one has to work out, plan, channelize. One thing one has to set in place and take steps so that ultimately the mission of the Lord can go on actually. That's an important principle. To organize everything in such a way that we are available for Krishna. So we will see among everything what Arjuna is doing. His qualification is what? That in spite of getting bewildered and having so many avenues of vision or so many angles of vision, Arjuna is somehow or the other now making space for Krishna to speak. You see 2.7 also same thing Arjuna said. He spoke so many bombastic reasons. Why not to fight? And after all that understanding that his reasoning is not helping me, Arjuna was creating space. Where Arjuna says, Shishyasteham shati mam tam prapannam. That means what? He is creating space, organization. Intellectually, mentally he is creating space. Okay, let me keep my concepts a little towards the side and let me allow Krishna's concepts to flow into my existence and let me see how it is. And again he got some instructions, and those instructions have been filtered by his own conditionings, and that's how he has received that, and again he is bewildered. But again he is telling, okay, my understanding side mein. And he is telling to Krishna, Tadekam Vada. Please tell me one thing, because I am bewildered. So you see, Arjuna is creating space actually. Therefore, many times when we are tossed about by bewilderment and confusion and so many priorities and so many provocations, allurements or options or alternatives like that, at that point of time, as a sadhaka, should put things apart, create space for the instructions of for the devotees, instructions to flow in our lives actually. So this is an important point actually, to go beyond the self notes and create space for the notes which the devotees are giving us, the mission is offering to us and so on. 3.3 now, the Lord replies, Lokesmin dvividha nishtha Pura prokta mayanaga Jnana yogena sankhyanam Karma yogena yogina. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotion or service. In the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord explained two kinds of procedures, Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga, or Buddhi Yoga. In this verse, the Lord explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga or the analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter is the subject matter for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness as it is explained in the 61st verse of the second chapter. The Lord has explained also in 39th verse that by working by the principles of Buddhi Yoga, Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bonds of action. And furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. The same principle is more clearly explained in 61st verse, that this Buddhi Yoga is to depend entirely on the Supreme, or more specifically on Krishna. And in this way, all the senses can be brought under the control very easily. Therefore, both the yogas are interdependent. A religion as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment and sometimes fanaticism, whereas philosophy without religion is mental speculation. The ultimate goal is Krishna, because the philosophers who are sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end to Krishna consciousness. Come in the end to Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the super self. The indirect process is philosophical speculation, by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness. And the other process is directly connecting with everything in Krishna consciousness. Of these two, the path of Krishna consciousness is better, because it does not depend on purifying the senses by a philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process, and by direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime. Most of the troubles in Krishna consciousness occur because of the living entity's nature to just catch one thing or a small thing and just hook on to that. So we will see that actually. So many times actually a sadhaka in due course of time catches on to one extreme or the other extreme. Material energy always tosses the living entity from one extreme to the other extreme, so that he cannot reap the benefit of the fruits of anything actually. Because in extremities there is no fruits actually, because there is no vegetation going on. Vegetation requires culturing. Culturing requires balance. Culturing requires all phases to be taken care of. So many times extremities. And because of extremities, one is not able to actually catch. So, say for example, chanting extra rounds, very important, very nice actually. But that is not the only thing which has to be done in bhakti. You just chant extra rounds, And there is whole crisis in so many services and so many, and we just, Sometimes we have seen a whole camp is going on, or so much of need is there, and some devotees are just sitting, with the bead bag, So sometimes extremities, like that. But it is not that, seva or engagement or say camp management or say Rath Yatra management has to be so strong that one doesn't pick up the bead bag only, वो बीड बैग लॉकर में और लॉकर अल्बर्ट रोड में और डिवोटी कहीं और पंडाल में ऐसा नहीं है because otherwise what may happen is that a person may get bowled out actually. So we see that Krishna consciousness is not about extremities, but the nature of mind is that the mind always looks to extremities. This extreme, that extreme, Sometimes, sometimes the mind dictates actually. भक्ति में परफॉर्मेंस करेंगे तो ऐसा करेंगे that we will be number one, अपने मंदिर में कम से कम, rank one. First should understand. Preacher मतलब ये, फंड रेजर मतलब ये, या जो भी पुजारी मतलब ये है ना, किचन मतलब ये है ना, ऐसा है ना, इज इट नॉट? And that one feels ये तो आइडेंटिटी है ना. So it's like that actually. Many times the propensity is to simply get hooked on to extremities like that. But in extremities we don't find forward motion. In extremities we only find illusion. We only find, we don't find transformation actually. So therefore we have to see that, okay, bhakti has to, it's like sometimes for Gauranga support devotees, it is important, okay, to earn money and quickly and you join, like that. But then Raisham, many Gauranga support devotees would say to Raisham, but then Prabhu, why we have to donate, We can just earn quickly and, he said, no. Donation you have to give. Why? Because, you give donation, it is purifying, it develops, we develop financial attachments to Krishna, very important actually. Financial attachments to Krishna, all angles are very important. We get more strongly riveted actually. And the point is that by that that means it's balanced actually. Otherwise just one-sided. Money to ekdam only money, I will just earn money, कुछ सेवा नहीं, कुछ donation नहीं, कुछ association नहीं, ऐसा. That's not steady actually. और मन में से ठीक है, only seva, only Krishna consciousness, that's also not steady. It might not be balanced. So the principle here is the same thing actually. What Srila Prabhupada is pointing in the purport is that one extreme is religion, another extreme is philosophy. You just embrace any extreme. One lands up into serious problems in his own understanding of Krishna consciousness, and one creates serious problems for others as well actually. Because in Sangha, whatever happens to one person affects everyone, is it not? So if one person becomes an extremist, then actually so many others immediately start getting beaten up, is it not? Like somebody says, back to guarded जाना है तो केवल temple construction करना होगा. That is the only seva, है ना? तो बेचारे जो स्कूल प्रीचिंग कर रहे हैं, चिल्ड्रन प्रीचिंग कर रहे हैं, वो तो जाएंगे नहीं back to guarded. So immediately it starts, it gives prejudice loops actually, So therefore one needs to understand actually, and sometimes one needs to discriminate also between inspiration and propagation actually. We may be inspired by certain kind of services, but when we are in Vaishnava community, we have to understand to acknowledge other people as well, Not that because we have a strong voice and we like one particular thing, then that is the only thing, So we are going to beat up and create violence, for so many Vaishnavas actually. Extremities actually always create havoc in this way. And that's why Prabhupada is making the point here, when Prabhupada is highlighting, when he says religion, philosophy, they are extremities. If you just catch one, it's going to create trouble for oneself, for others. And similarly, if you just catch one thing, it creates problems. So therefore, one needs to rise. Beyond this deficiency. Actually. So only thing seeing one thing is like a hammer. One just takes that hammer and keeps smashing, And one is thinking I'm making people into, just like, sometimes, you get these tomatoes and you chew on the tomatoes in a mixie, and one makes what do you call it, as chutney, and one is saying, one is feeling very nice. Okay, these tomatoes are getting churned, so they are getting smashed apart here and there, and that's very nice because it has become chutney and is being offered to Krishna, like that. But the same philosophy does not apply everywhere. Many times extreme stands, one thing ठीक है, I'm making other person into chutney, he'll be offered to Krishna. अरे वो already चल रहा है उसका. उसको चटनी करने की जरूरत नहीं. Isn't that? So this has to be understood actually, that extremities always create problems. And therefore, one needs to go deeper. So zooming in is not a problem. If something is appearing so prominent in front of us and we are just attracted to that, that's not a problem. But zooming out is a problem. Giving value to any limb of Krishna consciousness is not a problem. But devaluing something else, it's not action-reaction principle that you value this, that means you do not value this, One may engage in one particular type, in one particular area, but that does not mean one should pull out himself and pull out others from the other avenues, like that. It's an important principle actually. That's why we see that. That's why we see that whenever the potential energy between us and Vaishnavas start appearing to be too much, or the potential difference, that means we need to take we need to little bit sit down and go deeper in Krishna consciousness to have proper understandings and set the polarities proper, so that the potential is smashed. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.